because feudalism, both in England and in Japan, is based on the idea that you are given a piece of property in exchange for supplying some money or soldiers or horses or something for the crown. And you hold that, and it's in the interests of everyone that this piece of land is passed on to a single heir. It mustn't be split up, because if it's split up it becomes too small to pay the taxes or to raise the horse for the army or whatever. So the gradual development of impartable, that means you cannot divide it, landholding in England and in Japan, was tied up with feudalism. Also the principle that it goes to, so it's impartable, it goes to one heir, often the eldest heir, often a man, and so this system of primogeniture and impartable inheritance, which you find in only 2 countries in the world. You don't find it in France, land is divided up. You don't find it in India, China, anywhere else. But in Japan and England, impartable, single heir inheritance with absolute right to do what you like with that land as long as it's passed on to someone, not broken into bits. That developed as a result of feudalism and was related to these other factors. That in turn has a knock-on effect, because it meant that when a child was born, they had no automatic right to their parents' land. The famous medieval saying in Latin, nemo est heres viventis, no one is the heir of a living man, meant that while a person is living, they control the land absolutely. If they want to sell it off as they're dying, if they want to leave it in a will to someone else, they can do that. Now, in no other civilization, in Tak, we'd see in the opposite, where the children, all the sons could expect, automatically they had a right. The moment they were born, they had a right in their father's property, because it was co-owned. This is a peasant society, it's co-owned with their parents. Their parents can't just throw them off and sell it off, and they're assured of something. In England, when a child is born, even to this day, they're not assured of anything. They might be left penniless. Their parents could disown them, as Jocelyn did to his son John. And this insecurity, this feeling that you never know exactly where you are, economically at least, and socially, because you have to win your parents' fondness, favour, trust, interest, and so on. That sense of insecurity, I argued, was one of the things behind the early development of capitalism in England and in Japan, because it meant that younger sons had to go off and make their own lives. They couldn't expect just to sit on the family farm and go into the same thing. So the huge social mobility and geographical mobility of the English was related to this insecurity arising from the inheritance system. The inheritance system was the kind of inheritance system arising from the feudal structures. The feudal structures were the kind of feudal structures coming from the island nature of England and Japan. And hey presto, modern capitalism is because we're an island.
Then a question.